What's up, jammers? Welcome back to another video.
Yeah, I feel so long. It's been a minute.
It's been, I'm gonna say, since New Year's. So officially like 6 months that we haven't posted.
Feels longer like that.
It does feel longer than that. I feel so out of it. So bear with us because I feel like we're getting back into it. But nonetheless, we're super excited to be back, and we're just excited to share with you guys what we've been up to and fill you guys in on all those little gaps.
Yeah, because I feel like there's still so much confusion with some of the questions that we did, like a little poll on Instagram. Not a poll, but like a question thing on Instagram, having you guys ask, what questions do you have, since we're doing a live update video.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I think a lot of people still either haven't watched the previous videos, or there's just like we haven't clarified it.
Okay, so let's do a personal update, and then we'll go into the Q&A.
Yeah.
So pretty much for me, I've been busy with obviously my business, the kids. Right now, Mila is in summer break, so my time is a little bit more focused on being with the kids, making sure that, they're going out. I'm like full mommy mode right now. So I've been doing that. I also started the gym this week actually. So I've been doing that in the mornings. I try to get that early and then come back home and then spend time with the babies. But that's pretty much it. Mine's just pretty simple.
Yeah, well, they keep asking too, you're pregnant.
No, I am not pregnant, you guys. I know, and I actually want to touch on this subject because I do. So if you guys follow us on TikTok, I'm more active on TikTok now. I know before I used to be more active on Instagram, but now I switched over to TikTok. I feel like it's a lot more personal, and I really, truly enjoy that app a lot more.
And Snapchat too.
And Snapchat too. But if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, I do get this question a lot if I'm pregnant. And I think it's because I have gained weight, right? So when Jose and I weren't together, I had dropped like 90 pounds. So I was really, really skinny. And then when we got back together, I started eating more. He started to
Life is good.
Life is good. Literally, life is good. So yeah, I've been eating a lot more. And it's not that I'm like fat, I'm just like, I think I'm at a good weight, especially for my height, my size, like, and I feel good, which is the most important part. I feel good, but I can see why a lot of people think that I might be pregnant because I did gain weight. And it wasn't, I don't think it was fast. It was, gradually for sure. But my main focus right now is why I'm going to the gym is because I want to be able to turn my body into more of like a toned body, so yeah, but I'm not pregnant, you guys. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, I think for me, the most common question that people ask is like, oh, are you guys living together now? I think when we got back and when we announced it, we've been living together. I think it just creates a confusion because I still have the condo in downtown. And I think that's the main reason why people think that we live separately still. But we've clarified it in like live videos and stuff like that we've done, right? But our downtown condo is we just use that to like work out of, right? So that's where, I go there and edit, shoot the videos, etc.
And then you have your operations manager there with you.
Yeah, I have my operations manager there. So that's basically where we work out of. And then,
right.
Anita has her, that's where she does her brow business in there too as well. So we're living together, but we just have two houses. This is our main house where we, sleep and be a family.
Yeah, so we have, we kind of separated the two, obviously, because one, downtown, the kids don't have the freedom that they do here. We have a front yard, a backyard. So they're a lot more, open to running around and just being kids.
Yeah.
Downtown is a little bit more for like
balcony, just balcony and pool.
Yeah, and then we do. So right now that it's been summer, we do go to the pool at least 2 to 3 times a week. So that's been really, really nice. But for the most part, that condo is just used for work purposes. Yeah. And like I said, we use the pool as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But we don't want to combine the two because when we come here, this is where we kind of like
decompress.
We watch movies together. We have we have a dining table, we have
Yeah.
a couch and stuff like that. So
This is home.
this is
Yeah.
literally home. Yeah, so we are living together, you guys. Jose spends most of his time in the morning, so he works Monday to Friday, and he doesn't come home sometimes till like 8, 9 at nighttime. So that's why, maybe sometimes he's napping or showing you guys nighttime snips, of him working over there, and I can see why there's like confusion. But no, we're both living here with the kids, and yeah, it's been really nice.
Yeah, and so for me, I just been focused on my business. As I think there's also confusion on that, right? So even though my branding has changed on like my Instagram and like my TikTok, before you guys met us as like influencers or whatever, I was already running a company creating content for, first it was real estate agents, and then it evolved into influencers, and then brands, and then now it's business owners, right? So I've gone through like a bunch of different industries and niches, but I've always done this, and I think during the time when we broke up, that's when my business took off the most. And so I just started focusing my full attention into making sure that that was at a place where, that I wanted it to stay there like at a minimum, and then just continue to build on there. And so that's just kind of what I've been focusing on. So even on like my IG and like my TikTok, I'll still post like content that's, just more entertainment and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think I just want my branding to be more on like who I truly am as like a business owner. I love business. I've always loved it. I love entrepreneurship. I love mindset. I love content, over and even on off of being an influencer, content has always been a passion of mine. Like, I'm actually gonna drop a video on my personal channel. That's just business, about my story and how everything unfolded to what it is now, right? And to the version that you get to see of us now. But so I've been doing that, and then I launched a community, and essentially that community is for other people that want to get into content creation, whether it's posting content on YouTube, whether it's posting content for their business, on TikTok, on IG, etc. Also how to land clients similar to what I do. I'm just basically dumping all my knowledge into that community, and we get together every Wednesday, and we just have a Zoom call, and we break down what people are doing, what deals they have going on. We've been going heavy into UGC lately, which is user generated content, which is the easiest way to get into content creation and land brand deals, collaborations, etc. But those have been my top two focuses. Now I'm adding my YouTube channel to the mix, where it's just going to be mainly on just business education and branding and videography and content creation. My channel is going to be based on that, but essentially this is still who we are, and
we love it.
yeah,
This is like
we
a
missed it,
passion.
to be
We
honest.
miss it. Even Mila misses it. So yeah, we're excited to get back into
The rhythm.
the rhythm. Yeah. So
And I think for me, one of the things that I kind of had lost like love for YouTube for a little bit, I mean, because obviously we went through a very public breakup, so many people's opinions, so many people's inputs, so many people negative comments, etc. Right? And so I was just kind of like, do I really want this? Or is this something that I, really want to do? You know what I mean? I think when we started, it was mainly just to have memories to create with the kids and document it, and then it just scaled into something more
bigger, yeah.
And then so now it's different, right? And I think going through that transition and that breakup, and then just kind of going through all that, it just kind of left like a little bad taste in my mouth. But at the end of the day, it's like we know who we are, and we're just like like anybody. We go through our problems, we go through our roller coaster of situations, roller coaster of life. Nobody goes unscraped or bruised out of life. And now I feel like time has passed. Obviously we've been back together for what, like 2 years now?
No, like a year.
Like a year and something now.
Yeah.
And life is good.
We're getting ready to get back to posting and sharing
Yeah.
with you guys. Also, like you said, we started this channel to kind of document our journey with our babies, so they can once they get older, they can look back on. So we definitely want to continue doing that. We find Aiden constantly wanting to watch his videos where he comes out. So, that kind of motivates me, or at least for me, it's like, I miss it, and I want to push our YouTube channel again. So, yeah, but also you guys don't forget to keep up with us, on TikTok, Snapchat. We'll leave all that down below in the description so you guys can see our daily, day-to-day live day. But yeah, look, you want to get into the questions? That way we don't make the video too long. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, as far as the kids, they're doing amazing. They're growing so fast. Both babies are, thankfully, thank God, they're healthy. They're doing great.
You have a baby bunny now.
Oh yes, you guys, we forgot to tell you guys, but we have a new addition to the family. We have a pet,
little bunny.
So we ended up getting this bunny. I'm gonna say a month ago. Yeah, because it was in June 2nd. It was not planned, but we got it, and he's so stinking cute. And I love the fact that the kids are able to show so much love to this bunny. Like I could see them, like they'll take him out and they'll be like loving on him, and it makes my heart so happy, like being able to see that side of them.
And they have a responsibility too. Exactly. I feel like that. Especially Mila, because it was mainly like that's what she's been wanting for a while.
For a long time.
And so we're like, hey, if you want the bunny, you're gonna have to clean every day. You have to clean the poop. You're gonna have to take care of him. And she's been on it.
It. Yeah, she's so responsible when it comes to her bunny. Like, she loves him. She's been wanting a bunny for, like, I'm gonna say the past 4 years. So now seeing her being, like he said, being responsible, and sometimes without us even telling her now, she's like, okay, gotta make sure he gets the love, he gets the exercise, he gets the cleaning, he gets the food, all of it. So it's been nice, but we love the bunny now. We're like so excited to see him, and we completed our little family.
I know, he's living his best life.
Which I guess this leads us to, like, people asking us if we want a baby.
That's
number 3.
I think that's it. I think there's everybody's parenting is different, but I think for us it's like knowing that we give the most amount of time to the kids, individually and together. I think 2 is the perfect number for us, at least, to be able to still give them the time and the attention that they need. They live a great life, and they're very attended to. Anita does an amazing job. Obviously when I'm working, she takes care of them. No les falta nada. They're always playing. They're always out and about, trying new experiences and stuff like that. So I think 2 is the perfect number. So no more babies.
Yeah, exactly what you said. And then I think for me, on like the mental side, I think I always have, every time I have a baby, my postpartum really hits me like bad. I know we didn't bring you guys along when it was Mila's, because we weren't vlogging at the time. But with Mila, I went through something very similar, to what happened last time. So it's very traumatizing for me. Like, even thinking about having a baby gives me anxiety. And not so much because, the responsibility of a baby, but what comes with me,
the like imbalance of
my hormones, and it just gets really, really bad. And I don't think I could do another one, honestly. And like he said, I think 2 is the perfect number for us. Like, I love being able to, enjoy both of them, give them the same amount of time where one doesn't feel neglected.
And we have best of both worlds too.
Yes, we have a boy and a girl. Yeah, so this is like perfect. It feels good. Like deep down in my gut, it feels good. So yeah, that's it. We're having just 2 babies,
and that's it.
Somebody
said, is the romance and love stronger than before?
I personally feel it is. Just because I think us going through that breakup really gave us a chance to kind of, see it in a different perspective and an outsider point of view. Like, for example, for me, I was able to see things that I lacked on as a partner. And so me working on that and, learning how to love him and his love language, I just feel like we came back stronger, and like they say, I think when they say, you can't love somebody if you don't love yourself, right? So learning how to love ourselves when we were, we went through our separation really made a big difference. Like, um, now us coming back together, I feel like I love him even more,
Yeah, I think I mean, we've been together for years, we've been together since 15,
15.
16,
We've been together for 15 years.
Yeah,
Right.
so I think you just kind of maybe either get in a habit with that person, or maybe you just kind of I mean, we're maturing, obviously as we're growing up, together, and
Right.
like literally from being kids to now being parents together and
We went
having a
through every
family
stage
through every
together.
stage of our life. And I think, you know, maybe, we were neglecting maybe areas of our life, or we were just kind
Neglecting
of like,
ourselves.
yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. If if we're being completely honest, it was like the neglecting of ourselves, to where she felt that she was maybe not being heard on some of the things that maybe she was keeping to herself, and maybe I was feeling the same way on things that I was keeping to myself. So we didn't, even though we felt we had communication, I think that was something that we lacked, or at least deep conversation, to where that comfort of like, hey, if I need to express something to you, like, it's not that I'm attacking you or trying to have an argument with you. It's just, let's just have this conversation so it doesn't escalate to something else, or I don't know, just little things like that, right? And I think, with social media, growing up in a generation where the things that happen on social media is kind of like, uh, that's kind of how you're, how would you say it, like, yeah, this is like off topic from like what we were conversating about ourselves, but it's like, even in that breakup, I feel like I understood more of who I was, because I mean, I'm pretty sure for her too as well. I've always kind of been that person that's like, hey, I want to make sure that she's taken care of, right? And so I think in that process, I let a lot of the things that I wanted for myself, kind of on the back burner. And when we went to the breakup, I was like, okay, what do I really want? Who am I really? What are my standards? What are the things that I, want to accomplish or desire, or, and in that process, obviously, she was part of the equation, where it's like, she's as close to perfect as could be. We've started from nothing together. We've gone through it all. Where obviously she's the mother of my children. Yes, during that time, maybe I was angry because of how things went, or, she was upset or whatever, but it's like, there's nobody in this world that I would rather, be with and continue to build. And, even if we argue a year from now or whatever, like, I want to go through all those processes together, because again, we started from nothing together. Like, we literally, like, from the ground up, we started together. We literally grew up next to each other. We went through our maturity phases. Obviously we went through our breakups.
Our
One of them
teenage
happened to be
years.
very public.
Yeah.
Our teenage years, our, being boyfriend and girlfriend, our starting moving in together, getting our first car together, our
Having
first, yeah,
kids.
our first businesses, having kids, so we've gone through it all. And I think, that's the beautiful part about, a marriage that lasts a long time. It's not how many times you don't argue or how picture perfect your life is how many, trials and tribulations can you go through and still come out on top,
Stronger than ever.
yeah. And I think, through this process, we've discovered that. And, now we're here, we're growing. I think was probably the health, I would say, yeah, I would say probably like the healthiest, we've ever been, in terms of like our relationship, like our communication, like, even me as a man, like, I love to provide for my family. And I think right now I'm in a place in my life where I fully get to do that. Um, and I think, Anita, she makes a house a home, like, I come home, my meals are cooked, or she makes food for me, or, like, it's like a bunch of little details that, like, I think if it wasn't for the breakup, like, we wouldn't have appreciated as much, or would want to do these kinds of things for each other, you know?
Yeah, I think also too, like during that breakup, we were both able to really, like he said, truly understand who we were, who who we wanted to be, and what where we wanted our life to be. So all of that really aligned, brought us together, and it just really flowed really good. Like
Yeah.
our values, our morals really align a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's so surreal to think, but
Like we understood more about what our values are in that
yeah,
breakup, which is crazy
exactly.
because you would think you would, experience it as you're together, but I think that really just kind of,
I mean, I
define
feel
it.
like, it sucked going through it and things happened the way they were supposed to. But I feel like it was meant to happen for a reason. That our purpose was a lot bigger. And at the time, I couldn't understand how it all happened. Honestly, it was just kind of got out of hand, and it was just, and it was hurting for both of us, like the whole process. But now that we're here, able to look back, I'm like, oh my God, things
Yeah,
were meant to happen the way they were, or else we would never be able to be here.
yeah,
So we're just truly grateful, and we feel truly blessed to be able to be here still, and you know being in our best version of ourselves. And that comes with like everything just feels so good, like with our babies, like our family, our relationship. I feel amazing, like within myself, and that's so important, because I feel like when you don't feel yourself, nothing can fulfill you, nothing's going to make you happy. And we've talked about this, in
yeah,
our previous videos. But yeah, no,
yeah. And
our
I think
love
also
and
too,
everything.
it's like I think now Anita's like in that stage of her life where it's like this is what I've always seen for her, you know what I mean? And for her to like, obviously have been able to overcome, the postpartum and, her own process to now believing more in herself and like being her best self. Like I love that, and it makes me fall more in love with her because it's like, yes, like now we're really onto something, you know what I mean? Like now, we really get to build together and, for our kids. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, yeah, same. Any couple trips? um I don't know. Are we planning any couple? I think you said for your birthday you wanted to do something
Yeah, I was thinking.
just
So my
us.
birthday's coming up next month. So I'm just kind of like all over the place. It's like,
It's hard.
I get locked in with my business, and then it's just like, should I even do anything? Should I not do it? You know what I mean? Like obviously, I think one of the things that I'm learning is like appreciating myself and accepting those moments where, because I think for men, and obviously your husband is probably the same way, but it's hard to show appreciation for ourselves sometimes, and I think that's something that I'm trying to start to prioritize, not so much because, you know, I mean, obviously, yeah, I want to have these experiences, right? But more than anything is just to kind of recharge, and I get so addicted to like growth and
Working.
progressing and working in my business. And sometimes I just need to realize like, hey, it's okay to, you know, take 2 3 days and then you'll be recharged to go at it even harder, right? So I'm still figuring out, like there's so many options. That's the thing, like there's so many things that I could do that it's like, what do I even do, like
Yeah.
I'm either wanting to go out to Big Sur and just relax and not do anything for 3 4 days, or rent a yacht here and get some jet skis or go on a trip, so it's like I'm trying to figure it out, and we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah, I don't think we have any like couple trips
no, a couple of
planned.
trips. No. I
No.
mean, Bo and Maria, they just got a boat,
Oh
so
yeah.
they wanted us to go with them to the lake to have like a lake day. But aside from like other any planned trips like that, no. I think somebody asked, what is your favorite pastime to unwind and de-stress together?
Netflix.
Literally.
Honestly, yeah, I think that's our way to bond, is
Yeah.
like we'll put the kids to bed and then we'll come out and we just watch, like we love documentaries. So we'll watch documentaries also too. Like one of my favorite things to like decompress and just unwind is when we have our talks. Like we'll
Yeah.
sit here, kind of what we're doing right now, and we just like, talk about our day.
Yeah.
Of like, so how'd you feel like today went, or this, that, or if something has been like in our mind, we talk about it and we go deep into our
Yeah, really, dude.
conversation. Like we'll be here for like 3 4
Yeah.
hours just like conversating. And I think we both love the whole like
Deep
awareness
conversations.
and
Yeah.
stuff, where it's just like, oh wow, like I never thought about that, and like
Yeah.
he
I,
loves to like read about like whole awareness. I do too, right? So whenever we learn something, we'll talk about it and we'll deep dive. Like if he learns something new, he'll come tell me, and and then we just kind of,
Yeah, we really like truly bond in that way of like, I think
yeah,
growth more than
growth.
anything has become, not that it wasn't before, but I think now since we're both on the same headspace, like now
Yeah.
we really get to have these conversations, because before it was just kind of like,
I don't understand.
yeah, it was just kind of me, and obviously through the breakup, like she got to experience like, her awakening, I guess, if you will, you know what I mean? And she's more aware, and we get to have these like really deep conversations as to like, why things happen the way they do. There's no such thing as coincidence, just like stuff that like,
Like deep, like the
you
things that you
know,
guys like.
parenting, childhood trauma, conversations that are just like,
Like why people do certain things. It's always deeper, right? Whether it's like, if you, like for example, you see something on the internet, like I'll bring it up to him, and we'll get that
break it down.
subject and we'll break it down, rather than be like judging. We're like, well, wait, why do you think this is happening? Like, da, 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 oh, it could possibly be this, and then we go into like this whole conversation
Yeah,
of just um, like dissecting the whole
yeah,
process. But that's one of my favorite things. I also love going to the gym with him, but I think right now it's hard just because both our schedules are so different. Me, like obviously I have most of the kids I have the kids most of the time, so I kind of have to work my schedule around them, and he has work, where he has to like has projects, due dates and stuff, so sometimes it's like hard for us to go the same time. But
yeah.
that was another way that we loved to
To
bond.
bond, yeah. But I mean, yeah, I would say the deep conversations,
Netflix.
gym, Netflix, and
Documentaries, and when we watch Netflix, it's always like documentaries
yeah,
because they go deep into like the awareness and like.
it's like, because here's the thing, like, if there's one thing that you can take from us, is the more aware that you become, the happier you will be. And the bigger your perspective is, or your ability to be able to understand perspective, your life will completely change. And not because it's a magic formula, but now you understand that you have options and you get
Right.
to choose whether, for example, like on a simple one, whether you get mad at a specific thing or you're grateful that you experienced that thing, to now give you the awareness and the perspective of what more is out there, or where not to stay, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's always deeper. Yeah, I feel like, like there's always an evolution of things, right? And I think even an evolution with our channel. Um, yeah, obviously we'll share our journey, share our progress, but more than anything, I think the our growth, mentally has been such a,
Something that really changed us.
yeah, and something that we want to, be able to, communicate
with
that and share with you guys, because I think, like I said, perspective and awareness have been two things that has really changed our life completely, and in every area, in our faith, in our relationship, in the way that we parent, and our business, and literally everything, because I think when you have the capacity to understand that things happen the way they need to happen, or you take negative situations and you take the good from it and realize that you needed to go through that and for X, Y, and Z, and you might not understand that now, but you'll understand that a year from now or 2 years from now, when you've evolved in life or you're in a completely different place. So we just want to share stuff like that, because it's something that we're passionate about. And
Yeah.
like I said, we have these conversations late at night, and we're just kind of like deep diving, whether it's in our relationship, whether it's parenting, whether it's our parents, whether it's the relationship with our
Anything.
family, like everything and
Friendships,
anything.
everything.
Just know that whatever you have gone through, whatever experiences you have gone through, have happened for a reason. Even if you might not understand them, even if you haven't yet have accepted it or forgave about it, there's a reason why you went through. There's something that you needed to extract from it, so that then now you can gift that gift of awareness onto other people, right? And I think a lot of times, like, because sometimes I think about this, right, and it's like, why doesn't everybody have like awareness of this perspective? How Anita said, like, the world will be a much, you know forgiving place, or much more empathetic. But it's up to us, to be able to do that. It's up to you if you went through a certain situation and you've either overcame it or healed from it or extracted some from it. Then now it's your duty and your responsibility to now be able to share that with somebody else, so that they too can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And
like bring them up with you.
yeah, bring them up with. There's a book that we're really into right now. It's called The Celestine Prophecy. I think that book came into, well, at least in my life, at like the perfect timing. But it's something that I would encourage you guys to listen to, and so you kind of get a really good understanding and just deep dive into audiobooks and books. Like, I promise you, if you want to change any area of your life, deep dive into books, and obviously into God too as well. But, I'm telling you, awareness
is everything.
Is everything.
Yeah. Okay, so next one. I think one of the most common one was about our rings. I get asked all the time, like, where's your ring? Why aren't you guys wearing your rings? Like, and honestly, like, I think it's something that we don't really, like, we don't make it a big deal, I guess, you know. Well, actually, I've been asking you for my ring.
Yeah, but I think it only comes when you guys ask her.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. Because whenever I go live or I post a video, or there's always people asking me, where's your ring? How come you're not wearing your ring? And then it just gets me thinking. I'm like, oh yeah, because I truly love wearing my ring. Like, when he got me my ring, I was like so happy. I was showing it off, and I love, wearing rings and jewelry. So it does bring me back to, I'm like, well, yeah, why don't I get my ring back, But I think when we separated, I gave him the ring back. De caprichuda yo. It's just, I was going through.
I'm like, you ain't getting it back. I'm just kidding.
Literally. So I don't know where they're at. I don't know where your ring is at. He probably lost them. Honestly, one thing about Jose, you guys, is that he loses everything. Literally everything. His sister's always buying him socks because she works at a shoe store. So she's always buying him socks because he always loses his socks too. Like,
I don't know how it happens. Like,
he loses everything.
I lost my Dior shoes.
Everything.
That they gave me as a present.
He thought he had lost his Pradas. Like, he loses everything. So, like, sometimes, like, when I ask him back for my ring, I'm like, maybe he lost them. He doesn't want to tell me, because I'll be like, babe, can you give me my ring back? And he's like, oh yeah, I have to get it, because in the condo, there's like, you have a storage
unit. It's like a storage unit, yeah.
And so when he moved out of the apartment, he was the one that packed everything. I have no idea where half of the stuff is, until I asked him, like, hey, whatever happened to this? And then he's like, oh, I put it over here, or I got rid of it, whatever. So with the rings, I'm like, where are they? He's like, oh, I have to go get them in the storage. So something like, did he lose them and he doesn't want to tell me, or what?
No.
And what's your take on the rings?
No, I think I just gotta go look for them. To be honest.
Told you guys. Yeah, but it doesn't, like, it's not something that it's like,
oh, we don't love each other because we don't have a ring.
Right. It's not like, oh my God. Sometimes, honestly, like, we're so busy with our life and just, going back and forth, that I don't have time to think about the rings until it's brought up. But yeah, I want my ring back. So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it.
Somebody asked, what's the best gift you have given her or received from her?
Cologne.
I was expecting her to say, like, our kids. She says the colognes.
Oh, well, those are blessings.
Well, yeah, that's different, right? Aside from our babies and everything, I think.
Well, yeah, of course, like, the best thing you've given me has, honestly, I think, like, talking about, like, that, I think the best things you've given me is obviously my babies, but also too, like, experiences. Like, to me, that's been probably, like, the best thing you've given me, being able to, like, experience, and it's, and I'm gonna say it in a way where it's not, like, materialistic, like, like obviously, yes, traveling, but also too, like, having to be able to experience being, like, in my feminine era, or my feminine energy, you know what I mean? Like, being able to experience that, because I know that a lot of women don't get to experience it, and so I truly feel blessed to be able to feel like I'm being taken care of. And I just, I don't know if you guys seen those like TikToks or like memes where like, there's the like Chihuahua dancing, like going through the field, like, not caring about anything. That's literally how I feel. Like, I feel like there's no worries. So being to experience that has been a true blessing.
I love that. I think for me,
See what I mean? This is what I mean. We don't just go deep into like
like superficial stuff.
yeah, we go deeper into like things.
I think for me has been trying to find the right word. I would say support. Because I think like I know we say it, but obviously you guys don't truly understand the context of it. Because some of you guys might just see us for what we are now, so you can't even grasp like how we started. But we started from nothing, and ever since the beginning, Anita has always like supported me. She has always blindly believed in me. So I think she breathed a lot of life into me, and she gave me a lot of faith too as well. Because you know when you don't have the result to support what your ambitions are, you're kind of crazy. If you say, "Oh, one day I want to do this, one day I'm gonna be able to have that," da 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 da, like, you're like, "Yeah, right." You're over here, negative in your bank account. You know what I mean? Or you're asking me for $100 or whatever. But since the beginning, there was a point where I hit rock bottom. I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job, I didn't have any money, and Anita, she was our, you know, breadwinner, I guess, if you will, during for like a month or so. But I think as a man, that really like sets a fire under your belly, because it's like you never want to be in that situation again, And even through those times when I didn't have anything, she never made me feel like less of a man. She never made me feel like, oh, because you can't provide this, or you don't have this car, or you don't make six figures, or you don't take me to these places, like you're not man enough. On the contrary, she's always believed in me. She's always, trusted me blindly, even, when maybe I didn't even know exactly what it was going to entail, or, she didn't even understand what the hell I was saying that I was going to do, or how I was going to accomplish it. But she's stuck with me through the entire process. She's always believed in me, even when I would say probably like my first business, she was the one that actually, lended me $500 to be able to buy clothes from eBay and then resell them on Facebook, during that time. And then that just continued to snowball, and even, this is something that I'm going to be talking deep in my story, like on my channel. But, even when I went all in into my business, she actually, maxed out her credit cards to help me buy all the equipment that I needed, for me to start my business. And, I think every single one of those moments that we've experienced together, like, has ultimately led to where we're at right now. And, I'm grateful that I was able to give her the results that I would tell her one day, that we would daydream about, like, oh, imagine one day we get this, one day we're going to have a condo, one day we're going to get to travel, one day we're going to be able to drive this car, or have these experiences with the kids. Like, every single one of the situations we have accomplished. And it feels so real to be able to say that, because it literally feels like just yesterday, like, we had nothing. I was struggling financially. Like, I didn't have any money to my name. Like, we were living in her family's bedroom, and then we were renting rooms on with the neighbors. So it's like, I know it's easy to say that in words, and I wish we had footage of all of that. I mean we have some pictures and stuff like that, but everything that we went through, documented it, like, it would be so unreal. But anyways, what I'm trying to get to is just that, like, the ability of her believing in me blindly was the biggest gift that she could have ever given me, because without it, like, none of this would be possible, and I wouldn't be the man that I am today, and she wouldn't be in her feminine era, you know what I mean, fully embracing just living, and not having anything to worry about, and being able to give everything to the kids. So for me, I would say is that.
I think that was so beautiful, baby. I wanted to cry. No, but I think when it comes to relationships, like, a lot of people always say like 50-50. I think for us, it's always been, you know, whatever it is, like pouring into each other's cup. Like, it's always been, you know, he's 80, I'm 20, you know, he's 100, and no, not 100. It's like, you know, when
99.9.
which is what it is right now. No, but you know, like whenever we both are going through our situation, it's like that's why we have each other, you know. For example, like when he was talking about when, you know, he was going through his hard time, I never saw it as in like, well, you're the man, you're supposed to be provider, you know. It's like we're a team, we're here to for both of us to win, you know. And so it was always like, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine, you know. And so it was always like helping each other grow and helping each other, you know, because at the end of the day, we're doing this for us and for our babies. You know, at the time, obviously, it was for us, but, you know, it was always me, like,
thinking long term, too.
Thinking long term, you know, I'm like, you know, it's always going to be, like, one is going to be down. There's going to be moments in life where one's going to have it all and one isn't, and, you know, it's, life is a trip, you know, so.
And we're a unit, you know, at the end of the day, we're a team now, you know,
team, so.
For life. So it's like, you know, and I think that, like, to add on to that, this is one thing that I want you guys to understand and have this idea, right? Because what matters the most is your beliefs and the way that you want to live life under your roof, right? Whatever agreements you come together with your partner in any stage of your life that you're at, that's what it is, and it shouldn't be less than what you see on social media, right? Because I think right now we're in and this again, right? Once you deep dive into yourself and you really start to understand who you really are and what your values are and what you want out of life and what you believe in, this is when you really start to understand that just because things are popular on social media or things are portrayed a certain way on social media, that doesn't make them right. And that doesn't mean that that's what you should, you know, put your partner as a standard or whatever, right? So, and also too, one thing too, I'm always very, you know, both sided, right? If you expect something of someone, always make sure that you reciprocate that standard that you have, right? So if you want a man that's going to be a provider, then make sure that you're a woman. Make sure that you take care of the house. Make sure that you make the house feel a home. You know, if you have kids, make sure that the kids are taken care of, that when your partner comes home, he just feels at peace, whatever, right? If you know if you're the man, make sure that if you expect the woman to cook, clean, take care of the kids, make sure that you're a man that's capable of providing, right? And again, we're all gonna have seasons. So, you know, kind of how we were sharing our season, it's like there were seasons where I didn't have the capacity to be able to sustain the both of us, where she maybe had to contribute 75-25 or 50-50 or whatever that amount might be during those specific seasons to get to where we're at now. But just understand that just because you see something on social media, if that's not where your current life scenario is capable of, like, kind of being in, then don't accept it. Like, you know, be where you're at in your current season of life. And then eventually, if you do want to become that man that's 99.9 provider, you take care of everything and you feel accomplished, you feel fulfilled as a man, you feel like you've succeeded in life, then be that and own it, right? And then, you know, vice versa, obviously, for the woman too as well. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a season. At the end of the, worry about what your household believes in parenting, in raising your kids, and education, and all these areas, you know, your faith, your belief in God, etc. Make sure that those are set in stone in the household before you even get on social media, before you even step a foot outside your house, right? Because
you want to build a strong foundation.
Yeah, because with social media, social media, you got to realize this. Social media creates your reality. It creates what clothes you wear. It creates what kind of body you think you need to have, what surgical procedures you need to have, your faith with God needs to be, all these things, right? Based on what's popular and what's being pushed on social media and what's being trendy.
It's a wave.
Yeah, just because it's trendy doesn't make it right. Just because it's popular doesn't mean that that's what you should now switch over to or believe in. And so again, like I said, perspective, awareness, and having a strong foundation in within your household to realize, hey, whatever happens on social media or outside of this house, we know what our beliefs in, we know what we stand on, we know what we want to raise our children, to be, or our parenting, or whatever that might be, right? There's so many categories, but yeah, and be strong in that. And I think, having conversations with your partner will continue to evolve. And, I know somebody's going to say, like, oh, my partner isn't like that, or my partner is, well, you be that first, and then your partner can catch along. Because if you're not that, how can you set an example, and how can you expect your partner to be at that level or be at that capacity if you don't set that standard, right? It's like, for example, it took years for us to be able to have these conversations. But again, I needed to be that example. I needed to step up. I still needed to educate myself to be able to plant the little seeds, in her, so then she can flourish and be the person that she is today, and vice versa. You know what I mean? She needed to pour into me at a time where I needed her the most, emotionally, financially, spiritually, to now being able to, quote unquote, be flourished and be where I'm at today, to now be able to, reciprocate that back to her. But life is a process, life is a journey, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks or read books and podcasts. And
one of the podcasts that really helped me, because I get this question asked all the time, like, Anita, how did you become who you became? And I'm gonna say, like, one of the podcasts that really hit me and really helped me was Rob Dial. He's amazing. He goes very into awareness, but one of the things that I love about him is that he breaks down to why we do certain things. He's very big on journaling and really having you sit in your thoughts and analyzing yourself, and he'll say things where you're like, oh my god, it clicks. So he's amazing. Make sure you guys go check him out. But I
can go on and on in these conversations. We feel comfortable with again, like I said, we love this. This is really who we are. If we were to have 10 people here and we were having this conversation, we wouldn't want that conversation to end. This is the things that we're truly passionate about, and hopefully, you guys let us know. This is the type of conversations that you guys want to have. I would love to have even just sit down conversations of us just kind of talking and breaking down certain things that we're in our life, or whatever. And again, these are moments that are going to be recorded for our children. I think one of the things that a lot of us as parents, we always worry about is, like, we want to leave our kids a house, we want to leave them money, and we want to leave them these things, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, after their generation, all that's going to be gone, right? So it's better to instill in them confidence, awareness, perspective, these things that are never going to go away, and for them to be able to hear these conversations and be like, wow, like, I never thought of it that way, right? Or, wow, I can't believe my dad said this, like, this really gave me this perspective. Or it's
just documenting our journey, so that they can see who we were 2 years ago, because luckily we were vlogging 2-3 years ago, so they're gonna be able to backtrack and see, wow, like, my parents weren't talking like this. Now I can see the switch of their personal development, and you could tell here that's where they really developed. I think also too, like, once you hit a certain age, like for me, my 30s was like the time that, like, they say, like, you mature once you hit like certain ages, like 30s, your 40s. So for me, like, my 30s, I'm sure you're able to see, like, from back in my videos before I was 30, how I talked, how I held myself to now, but the kids are gonna be able to see that, and like, kind of, I wish I would have been able to see that from
your parents.
That would have been awesome. But
I mean, think about it, how many of us truly know our parents,
right? Yeah, yeah, it's
so
true.
we just know them as, like, oh, that's my mom, oh, that's my dad, but
we don't
never
really
as
know them
people,
like that. But yeah, you guys, I think this is the end of it, because I think
we rambled. We talked a lot.
We rambled, but
we miss you guys.
We miss you guys. Stay tuned, like I said, for our next video. It'll be the 4th of July. I know it's a little bit late, but better late than never.
Yeah. We'll probably combine that with something,
No, because it was pretty.
It was real. Okay, cool.
Long. Yeah, so we'll stay tuned for that. It is summer, so we're trying to do more things with the kids. we're probably gonna go to Sesame Street this weekend, so we'll also vlog that. Don't hold me with it, but we'll just be bringing you guys along more journeys and how you guys see the kids growing up and all of that. So
Yeah,
we haven't forgotten all of you guys. When we had our not our gender reveal, our baby shower, virtually baby shower, and all of you guys sent us, like, I will never
forget that, ever
forget that.
ever.
Like, seeing the boxes and everything is like planted in my mind. So
forever.
and I'm forever grateful with every single one of you that sent out a gift to Aiden. Like, you guys really made a print in our hearts.
Yeah.
And I know that some of you guys are watching, and if you gifted Aiden a gift, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, 100%.
Thank you guys for watching us. Like, it means the world to us, and we would love to, hopefully one day we can meet all of you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys, just wanted to share that, and we wanted you guys to see the kids growing up, and because I know there's some of you guys out there that truly care for us as a family, and
and a lot of you guys sent prayers and messages of, hey, I was praying that you guys would get back, and so all that never goes unnoticed. So we're extremely grateful. We're excited to be back. We're gonna probably be uploading a video like at least once or twice a week, and just forever grateful with you guys. I'm gonna be leaving all the description of everything from the books that we talked about, from podcasts, from if you want to join the community too as well. Anita's brow business, her Snapchat, all that stuff, so you guys can keep up with us on a daily. I know a lot of you guys don't even have social media platforms. That's why you guys were
watch us through
YouTube. So thank you again for that, and we'll see them on the next video.
Yeah, I was gonna say, also let us know in the comments down below what kind of content you want to see from us. Family vlogs, challenges, pranks, I don't know, whatever you guys want us to film, let us know, because we're excited to get back on here, so just give us any ideas.
So
thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in our next video.